So then we are back with more understandings from the time of the Second Tabernacle services, where we find in the Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Israelic lineage. So then we can understand the time of the end as per the Yirmiyahu the prophet. Then we find areas of understanding of the time of restoration and reduction, where then you find Yirmiyahu the prophet explaining the cities laid waste for many centuries, then they would return. As we understand, the first holy city of the time of the restoration period is then northern Sudan, where the land of Cush is at. So, with this understanding in mind, we then shift from the period of the seat of 1,000 years, of 1009 to 2009, we are shifting then back to the tabernacles. Because we are shifting back to the tabernacles, then comes precision. Nahashatan has then his role as persecutor of the tabernacles, and his title is back, obviously. That's why when we read the layer of understanding of Daniel the 2nd chapter, you find Daniel the 12th chapter, then you find Galah the 20th chapter. Those are understandings where we find then, mostly in Galah the 20th chapter, where you find then deceiver, you find then dragon, you find then Satan, you find them as serpent, each of those that have an understanding of it. The time of the seat is gone. Using religion to manipulate systems and work doesn't work anymore. We have to understand then the time of the dragon coming as preparing then these layer of the Gentile understanding as far as precision is concerned. That's why then Daniel the prophet said precisely at the end of times then people would go to and fro. This period of time is gone. Going to and fro the seat. No holy cities. Then we are returned to the holy cities. Then at the end of the period of the seat comes then a peak of knowledge, indicating then the returning of the dragon related with the Gentile level. It's obvious. So then, understanding from this viewpoint, what can we expect of religion? We can only expect people becoming more industrious. When churches are not industrious, understanding, having work ethics, speaking the language where a person is found at, encouraging people to study, then those religious establishments, they would have no place. Because we are no longer in the time of deceit. We understand it's not going to be the mid person anymore. We understand retailers are on the line. Financial institutions scandalizing themselves and stealing and manipulating market going up and down. Those are situations of the 1,000 years of deceit. We are no longer in those times. We are during the time where then market's going to be extremely stable, and we understand the Chinese system is coming. There is absolutely certainty of it, and there are hints in many areas of the world. Primarily when you begin to read the mortgage system posted by the Chinese, there is some information in the system related with intermediary mortgage system from China. The first topic, you find then the absolute requirement of stabilization, any kind of market change related with the percentage. They require instant equalization or stabilization. You can't make this claim if you don't have a system of your own 100% working. Where do you find every area then only going up and not going down? That's why you make those claims. Requires instant stabilization, so then the system can go on. We have our mortgage mixed up with their own systems already, and we have no idea. Own systems, because they are mixing yet the Bank of China and our banks and mixing up those systems. But they are obviously leading those systems until China's systems then comes. We don't know how it's going to be related in our country. We understand the worldwide is going to be only a system. How it's playing at this very moment while they are untracked, we have no idea. We don't know. We know what to do with the parcels. We know what to do with the instant taxation. Every product prior of coming to the United States should be obviously tracked and taxed prior of leaving the port of any country. Has to have an instant system where each container of each ship, each item of each box must be already taxed. Because we have this recognition of retailers no longer being the intermediary. There won't be anymore the mid person. People are going to do then relations with China directly in the computer. The mid person is gone. The only way we can deduct the taxes is by each item being taxed prior of come out of the port. Then we secure the funding coming in the government. If there is a situation where people of intermediary people are then buying those products, they are also taxed. So the government then is covered in every area. If we do this, then we have the tracking of parcels then 100%. Then we have to make a deal with the world, make sure they describe the product properly and priced properly. Because the Chinese system amongst the nations, what is going to take place? They are going to have then in the system a description of the product, obviously the brand of it. You're going to invest in the brand related with the company. And then you place your amount over there, and then later you receive a tiny amount depending on how much you invest. But then this system is also related with you earning and also you paying your mortgage, where we have no idea how it's going to be the relationship of Bank of China, the system of the Chinese, and the relation with our banks, because it's not tracked. We don't even have instant taxation of our own products. This is how far behind we are. As far as mortgage, it's a mystery, enigma. We don't know the relationship of the Bank of China and our banks. For instance, HSBC, Citigroup. They already have some deals going on. The government is not part of it. We don't know what's going to come out of it. We know when the time comes, people are going to download this system and they're going to be over there, making deals and doing investments, buying. But what they are waiting for is for our monetary system to go down first. Then clears away the market of these ups and downs of the American economy. Never stable, always up, always down, always up, always down. The situation is with the Asian market, you can go up and down every time. The only reason for the market to go down at times is because of defective products. And those are somewhat rare. So most of the time is always up. That's why every time you deal with the Asians, you have to have stability. So what are they waiting for? They are waiting for our monetary system them to go down, then so they can take over. Couldn't be any simpler. Analyze it. Our system goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. Then religion mixed it with it. And then they scoundrelize religion, they give checks, and then markets go up, markets go down. It's a playing of the mid-person scoundrel playing around with a market. You don't do this with Asian market. There is no mid-person religion scoundrel in the midst of it. Either you are real, you have then funding over there, you transfer into the system, and then you invest. Then you earn. There is no mid person anymore. Plus, there is no savings anymore in banks. They have to understand this system. When it comes, people are going to take their investments, they're going to transfer those into numbers from whatsoever system they are using, any kind of a bank. And then it's going to Chinese system. Then they're going to invest. Banks are going to be skeletons. Checking and the bare minimum. Because of the lack of tracking, we have no idea. But there are hints everywhere. You can't make the claim where then you have an intermediary mortgage system with the Chinese, then you find any kind of a fluctuation of a percentage has to be instantly equalized or then stabilized. You can't make this claim if you don't have a system that is absolutely constant. So what's coming in the future? Why are they involved in ourselves then with our mortgage system? Because their system is very stable. But then when the mortgage system is involved with the Bank of China and therefore is going to be involved with their own system, people are going to be investing and earning via the same line and paying their mortgages. How are we going then to find out? It's an overseas system. The only way of tracking is when there is a transfer. If our monetary system goes down, then God help us, because there is no way of even starting a new monetary system. Then they have to fight with the rights of people, of government going over there and trying to tax them. And with the system down, it's going to be a nightmare. So this is the proper time of tracking. Making a deal with the freighters. Every time there is a ship come out of the port, make sure each of those items are taxed. You know, if the company buys 100,000 items, they don't know if they're going to be for sale yet. Well, they have to take a chance. You know, but they have to pay their taxes. Comes out of the port already owned by the company that buys them. Taxes already taken. And then the companies, they must be truthful. They are going to buy this product for this much. They are going then for sale for this much. The government has to figure how much taxes they're going to take from. We don't know the relations with them as far as taxation, because there is no record. What we know is we are printing out money as a festival, but we are not receiving it back. It must be charged taxes. If a company pays so much, they pay taxes. If the product then is for sale and they get rid of the product, then there is another type of tax. The government has to work out these specific steps, because each of them must be then tracked. We've got no tracking whatsoever. You know, the whole situation is, you know, floats around, goes up, goes down, nobody knows. But when the items, they come out of those ports already taxed, then the person receives. The situation is there is a mixture of retailers and a mixture of individuals. Those are not the same. Via the system, when it becomes available, when a person purchases through the system, the government can't read it. How are they going to tax it? However, if they tax at port, either retailers or then individuals, they are taxed, both of them, based upon the value of the product. Then the government has to make a deal with the retailers, if those are going to be around. More than likely not, because every individual then can get online and get for their half of the price. Those areas must be established. As far as mortgage, is absolutely a mystery. There is mortgage mixed up with the whole situation, and the government has no clue. They have no idea.